It was a crisp Wednesday morning. Birds chirped outside our windows, and the early sun cast a soft glow over our quiet, well-manicured neighborhood. My wife Ellie had the day off, which was rare. She just returned from a 3-week training rotation, something she couldn't talk much about even with me, and was finally looking forward to a peaceful day at home. I had left for a business trip the night before, so it was just her and our German Shepherd, Tank. She woke early as usual, made a cup of black coffee, and stepped outside in joggers and a hoodie to take Tank for his morning walk. The streets were empty, and the neighborhood was still wrapped in that sleepy suburban calm. Until she noticed a man she didn't recognize standing just off our lawn. He was in his late 50s wearing sunglasses, a dark blue polo tucked into cargo pants, and, bizarrely, a tactical vest. A walkie-talkie clipped to his chest crackled every few seconds. He was snapping photos of our driveway, then scribbling in a little notepad. Ellie paused, sizing him up. He looked too serious for an HOA volunteer. She approached, Tank alert by her side. "Morning," she said casually. "Can I help you with something?" The man barely looked up. "HOA business? Trash bins left out past 9 p.m.? Violation of Rule 36B." Ellie raised an eyebrow. "They're inside the garage. They've been there since last night." "I have a photo. Time-stamped, 9:17 p.m. She nodded slowly. "Okay, and you are?" He puffed up. "Neighborhood enforcement officer." Ellie gave a small laugh, not unkindly. "That's not a real title. I'm authorized by the board to issue citations." At this point, Ellie had had enough. She wasn't the type to escalate, but she'd dealt with tougher situations in hostile territory than a guy with a clipboard and a fake badge. She kept her voice even. "Well, if there's a problem, I'll take it up with the board directly. You're on private property, and I'd like you to leave now." That's when things shifted. The man took a step forward, hand going under his vest. Tank began growling. Ellie noticed it immediately, a weapon. He drew a handgun and pointed it down toward the sidewalk, not directly at her but close enough. "I suggest you watch your tone," he said coldly. What this guy didn't know, what he couldn't know, was that Ellie wasn't some suburban mom worried about citations. She's an active duty Delta Force operator. She's fast, trained, and deadly when she needs to be. And worse for him, she doesn't react emotionally under pressure. She moved instantly. While his gun was still angled down, Ellie shifted her body, closing the space between them before he could reorient. She struck his wrist, hard, just enough to knock the barrel wide, then used her free hand to drive a palm upward under his chin. He staggered back. The gun dropped. Tank barked so furiously the guy almost fell over his own feet, backing away. She didn't press the attack. She picked up the gun, engaged the safety, and set it down out of reach. Then she pulled out her phone. "You're going to wait here while I call the police," she said, dead calm. "And before you get cute, everything just now was caught on my porch camera." He froze. She dialed 911. The real police arrived in less than 5 minutes. Ellie handed over the weapon, the footage, and gave a brief, professional statement. The man was taken into custody on the spot. Turns out he wasn't authorized by anyone. Not the HOA, not the board, no one. He was just a wannabe vigilante, obsessed with HOA rules and keeping the neighborhood in line. The HOA board was mortified. Official statements were issued, apologies made, and an emergency vote was held to ensure that no one would be allowed to act as neighborhood enforcement without real oversight ever again. The story spread fast. Suddenly, the quiet woman on Elmwood Drive wasn't so invisible. Neighbors who'd barely said hello before started waving. The man across the street brought over a pie. The HOA president sent a gift basket and a handwritten apology. Ellie didn't care for the attention. She just wanted her quiet morning back. The next day, she was back outside with Tank, walking the block like nothing ever happened. But no one messed with her after that. And the best part? That neighborhood enforcement officer had no idea who he was dealing with until he saw the badge clipped to her belt when the cops cuffed him. U.S. Army, Delta, active, and very much not the woman to pull a gun on.